guys? Welcome into another episode of Hoops and Football. I am Shannon. Thank you all for last night. I did do a live video with Michael and Tim just on the draft prospects that were there for this year's draft. Obviously, Richmond's got a quite high draft. Unfortunately, I had to end the show quite abrupt as I had to go take care of my daughter. She was in a bit of pain, so she wanted Dad, so I rushed to do that. I do appreciate everybody who jumped on to that video. And I also do appreciate the spike in my likes and my subscriptions. I think over the last 24 hours, I think I've jumped up by 8 or 9. So for everybody who has subscribed to my show, thank you, and I do appreciate this very much. So let's get into today's video. Today's video, Richmond has just released information that Jacob Koschitzke and Jacob Blight, both Jacobs, would no longer be a part of Richmond for the 2026. They have decided not to give them contracts. Probably a little bit shocked. I had belief that Koschitzke had another year to go in his contract. Could be wrong. That's what I had heard. But unfortunately, they have said goodbye to both of them. I thought they might have tried to use Jacob Blight as just a bargaining to get a second round pick or something like that. But as we can see, that did not happen. So Richmond has released a statement out for already, and I'll just give you guys a quick breakdown. It says Richmond Koschitzke played 16 games for the club. Across 2 seasons, he booted 12 goals from 14 games in 2024, but only managed 2 games this year. The 25-year-old previously had played 48 games for Hawthorn, where he was selected pick 52 in the 2018 national draft and spent 5 seasons there. Obviously, we both know Koschitzke had played in the front end and the back end of the VFL. Did quite good in the front end, and obviously going into the end of the year for the finals for the VFL, had to play forward/ruck, and did really well. And I didn't have anything against the club keeping him around for that next part of his contract. I don't remember him signing a 2-year deal. I believed he had signed a 3 or 4 year contract. I don't know what the club's doing there, but that's up to them. Obviously, maybe they might release the information later on. I was happy to keep him around. I thought he was a really good player to have in the VFL to teach young fellas. He seemed to be quite a good leader and a mentor towards some of the new fellas coming in. So I did appreciate that. And I think it was good just to have that experienced player when Tom Lynch went down. And I really think when Tom Lynch went down and we had him come in for 2 or 3 games, I think it was the Essendon and the West Coast game, I think he did a lot more than we thought he would. So I do appreciate that side of the thing, what he did. And obviously, I wish him the best for his future. And wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on a list as a backup defender, just for some of these players, clubs who really need defenders, because he definitely retooled himself quite well as a defender. The next one was Jacob Blight. He's a 23, played 10 games for the club after being selected in the second overall pick in the mid-season draft. Western Australia played 7 games this season, including the opening 5 rounds, and then just comes out to say that the club, Blair Hartley, would like to thank both of them for what they've contributed to the club. Obviously, as well as Blight moved across the country to play for us, to pursue his dream. Really kind of bummed on the Blight one. I really thought we would have kept him around for another year. Obviously now with a bit of rumours coming out about players chasing young, you thought it would be a bad idea to have that backup ruckman or that temporary forward, because obviously fingers crossed. But what happens if next year you lose? Young does get asked to leave. Yes, you do have Noah Bolter and Miller, but what happens if one of them go down? What's the next backup key defender that helps? I don't think Trainer and Gibkiss are quite there yet for that body size. I think they need to buff up a bit more. But we would have used him as just a cheap throwaway contract to send to West Coast or North, maybe just to give them get a 4th round or a 3rd round pick, which we would do need for Lewis Callaway. Unfortunately, didn't happen. But look, it is what it is. That is the nature of the beast. AFL, I think the general average season career is about 3 to 4 years. So it's just a standard turnover. So that now means we are 4 players shorter on our list. Matt Cleaner was the other one. Who was the other one they got rid of? I cannot remember the other one. There was There was another one as well, but I can't remember. I'm assuming you guys will remember, and I will remember later on once everybody pops up on my head, and I saw who else they said goodbye to as well. But look, that is the nature of the game. Wish them all the best. Now start to look forward to see who else will be signing contracts. Obviously now you have to make 3 list turnovers overall by the end of the season, and now we've now done that. So going to the draft, I've got a few more draft videos coming out as well. Obviously I did a big one with the other people, but I'm going to go into a bit of a breakdown on the other players, like I have done with our previous 2 videos with draftees and Sam Grill, and Sam Cummings. So we'll see how we go there. All right, guys. That's it from this episode. As usual, guys, if you could, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you again for everyone who jumps on my channel and watches. Stay safe and go Tigers.